Okay, so I'm trying to set like a mood here, and I don't know, this looks like one of those night vision cameras. So I used this green filter in my last video and it worked really well, but I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's because it's nighttime now and I shut out all the lights because the green filter wasn't really working with the light. I don't know, let's try something else really quick. So this is the blue light. I don't know about this one. This is like, okay, this is like a swirly red light. Probably not for this. I don't know, I'm kind of feeling this green light, so I like the whole kind of night vision thing going on. So especially since I'm about to review a horror film that I recently saw. But like I have this is my Castle Blood hoodie. Even though it's still summer, but it's a little cool out where I'm at. And I have this like really cool popcorn and soda blanket that I actually got at the movie theater. It's super, super soft. It's like one of the softest blankets that I own. I got it at the movie theater when I went to see I Know What You Did Last Summer. Here, let me just turn this a bit so you're not looking at a big blank wall. But I just got two new microphones too that I will be using in these, but I haven't unpacked them or tried them out yet, but I'll probably be using them in future videos. But I just wanted to do a review of a very kind of comfortable review, since it's nighttime and kind of unwinding, but I did want to do like a quick review of I Know What You Did Last Summer, the new one. I saw it about a week ago, and I just wanted to share my thoughts. So I did before I saw this new I Know What You Did Last Summer, I did go back and watch the original one. I think it was like from like the late 90s or something. But I did go back and watch the original one just to get some context, because I did hear about how Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. were going to be reprising their roles in this new I Know What You Did Last Summer film. And and there might be, I'm gonna try to keep this as spoiler free as possible, but there might be even a couple more previous cast members that will be making that do kind of make a little appearance, like a cameo appearance in the film. I watched the original movie, and then the night before I watched the original movie, and then I went to see the new I Know What You Did Last Summer, the 2025 film. And I will say, well, first of all, I did really enjoy the film. Is it a major, like, I mean, there are jump scares, but I didn't really like jump out of fear. It was just more like, okay, I'm really enjoying this film. Kind of like the original film. In fact, there are actually a lot of parallels to the original film. Just with the way the characters are. In fact, there's one of the characters in the main cast that actually, he almost does look like a very, like, a younger Freddie Prinze Jr. And for a second I thought, oh, maybe is that like, their characters, Ray's and Julie's kid, maybe that's their son or something, because he looked so much like Freddie Prinze Jr. when he was younger, and in the original film. And like I said, I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler free as possible, but in the main cast of characters, the main group, they're basically, what's going on is they're attending an engagement party of one of the main cast members, and she's kind of I can't think of like the correct word, but she's kind of like the prototype of the Sarah Michelle Gellar character in the original film, Helen Shivers. So the Helen Shivers prototype, she is she's engaged, and she's engaged to the guy who's supposed to be the Ryan Phillippe prototype. Like, you know, like I said, they kind of parallel each other. So the Ryan Phillippe parallel character. So they're engaged, and then you know, the rest of the group, about, there's like 3 more of them, they're attending their engagement party, and again, like they're all kind of parallels of the characters from the first film. And so after the engagement party, that's when they go out on this ride up onto the cliff where they're going to be watching the fireworks. And, you know, and it takes place in the same town, by the way, as the original I Know What You Did Last Summer. And so they're going to, like, basically the same place as the events of the original film. And they're watching the fireworks, and then, of course, what happens? There's an accident, and kind of what the same thing that happens in the original film. They're basically like, you know, oh, what should we do? You know, it's a car wreck, like, just like, you know, very similar to the original film. But I mean, there's some differences. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this as spoiler free as possible. But there are a couple of differences between the accident in the original film and the accident in this new film. But it's still pretty much the same premise. Where they're standing around like, you know, oh my gosh, like, what do we do? Should we, you know, and then half the group wants to go to the police. The other half is, you know, like, no, our lives will be ruined as long as we keep this between us. You know, we're going, you know, we'll be good. We just need to promise to each other that we're not going to tell anything. Pretty much the same premise as the original film. So they do. And they do try to help the person, though. They do try to help the person, but unfortunately they're too late. So they basically, they drive off. Now, to their credit, they do notify the police, but then they leave the scene. And they're basically, they're not found at the scene. So it's about a year later then, and the friends have kind of gone their separate ways, and, you know, and they're all kind of messed up in their own way. Again, it definitely parallels the first film, at least for the first part of it. However, it does kind of take off in a different direction, even though it's a very similar premise. To the original film. It does kind of take off in its own direction, which I think is pretty cool. And like I said, they do put some jump scares in it, but like I didn't really like I didn't feel scared. It wasn't, I mean, I was kind of on the edge of my seat a little bit, but it was more of a sense of, ooh, yeah, you know, I'm really, like, I'm enjoying this film, as opposed to, oh my gosh, I'm really scared. And of course, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr., their roles in the film are actually, like, you know, really, it was really kind of fascinating, especially after revisiting the original films. I Know What You Did Last Summer and I Know What You Did Last Summer Too, from the late 90s. You know, watching those films again, and then you know, watching this, it was kind of interesting to see how the Julie James and then Ray's character, like the turn that they took, you know, after the events of the original films, and it was very fascinating to, like, see them reprise their roles and just to kind of see what they did with them, and that was very enjoyable. And I think that the cast overall as a whole did very well in their roles, and I do like how it was pretty atmospheric, how they set the atmosphere and just the whole tone of the film, and yeah, and how there were some nods to the original film. But like I said, I did like the overall atmosphere. I when I was first watching, when I was watching the first part of the film, I was just like, I kind of was like, oh, are they just going to kind of basically repeat the original film except just with different characters? And I mean, in a way, yes. There are definitely, like I said, parallels to the original film, but it does go off in its own direction, and it is a really cool, enjoyable film. I don't think, I mean, unless you're the kind of person that's afraid of their own shadow, you probably won't be scared during this film. It would be more of, okay, I appreciate the nostalgia. And yeah, and I do like, I'm kind of interested to see who this fisherman killer is, so it was more like that for me. And also, but even the special, like the effects and everything that they did for, like the death scenes and all that stuff. I mean, those were, I always appreciate, like seeing how they're gonna do like the special effects and all that stuff. They looked like they were practical special effects, and not CGI or AI or anything. They did look like they were practical special effects on the big screen, so I mean, that was cool if it was. And also, yeah, I mean, it was overall, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing it, and if you do have the chance to go see it like in the theater, I definitely recommend it, especially if you like, nostalgia and nostalgic films and everything. So but that's my thoughts on I Know What You Did Last Summer, the new one, the 2025 film. And yeah, I will definitely be back for another video. I am going to try to upload new videos every Monday and Thursday. We shall see. Hopefully I'll be able to stick to that, because I'm also doing a lot on my main channel, like my music and everything. But I do want to add more to this channel and everything, because I do enjoy this kind of stuff. So, all right. So those are my thoughts on I Know What You Did Last Summer, the new one. And yeah, if you saw it, I'd be very interested in knowing what you thought about it. So yeah, but definitely, feel free to subscribe, and also visit my main channel as well if you're into Celtic fantasy music. And yeah, me and this kind of night vision effect. Yeah, I will see you in the next video. All right, thanks so much.